I just helped a mid-level engineer go from 2,800 to 6,000 a month in just 2 months without applying. You're probably wondering why I'm qualified to teach on this topic, tell you like a quick story about me. So before my software engineering career, I was basically on like minimum wage. I was struggling to even get into software. I got rejected from like the 2 boot camps in Bulgaria. Companies didn't want to like hire me because I had no experience. It feels pretty discouraging. I even failed to get into universities. That's when I actually met my mentor, Ivan. He helped me out to get a job in 4 months. And after 3.5 years in the industry, I actually became a senior. I'm forever grateful to him. And that's why we put so much focus on mentorship, because I feel like that's like the fastest way to grow. I feel like my results show it. Of course, I put in effort as well, but having somebody by your side, I feel like it's the best way for you to adapt. The number you see was actually like my first ever salary that I got in software engineering, which is pretty low. That's a month. And in that first job, I was severely underpaid. They didn't want to raise me. I stayed there for like a year and a half, and they kept delaying the raise. At first they were really happy from me, and then like all of a sudden they were not, so they didn't really raise me. And obviously I got really frustrated. I was really depressed at that time. And on the next job, I actually had like a 97% increase in salary to 3,700. Sure, this might seem like a lot, but I was severely underpaid. Then internally, I got a raise, 4,500, which I kind of like negotiated up. And then I actually switched jobs again. I got a salary of 6,200, which is again a 31% increase, right? So I began noticing patterns. I stayed about like a year and a half in each job. Sure, when you're just starting out, you're getting like big increases because you're not up to speed to what's out there. Obviously, I moved positions as well, so that's one factor. And also keep in mind, this salary is local to Bulgaria, so the numbers might be quite low for what you would expect in the US market. And in that job, I actually really liked it. I really liked my colleagues. I really liked the company I was in compared to the first one. But then there was the raises. A year after, I wanted a raise. They actually offered 5 or like 10% increase. We just pushed like 3 projects in less than a year. That's so unfair. And they had like no budget for it. I was just so pissed that I just opened the job market just to see like how much I can actually get. And that's where I got like most of my strategies along the way. Another like opportunity found me. I actually got up to 10K, almost 11, 50%. That's a lot. Here I thought I was earning like a lot. I was basically on par with a lot of my friends that were even like senior, right? I was able to get a significantly more. I actually earned more than my mentor who had 6 or like 7 years more experience than me. It clicked that I'm doing something right. Yeah, let's try to just replicate it for other people, like see what happens. So firstly, I got like a ex-colleague from my current company, and I helped him get from like he didn't know anything to getting his first job in like 5 months. And at that time I was like, yeah, I just know how to help beginners, right? So let's just do it again. I don't know why the image is not here, sadly. But then I helped like a random guy in India. Basically, at that point, I actually started the community. So there was like people coming in. I actually helped him. And you can, by the way, check these success stories inside the classroom. And then I found a guy in like Germany. He got like a higher offer in 3 weeks. He was like unemployed and he was like stuck in the job search for a while. Then I found another guy in Argentina. Even like 5 months after the optimizations we did, he's still getting proposals every week without lifting a finger. And last but not least, another guy in Canada. He got I cannot really say like how much. He got a pretty decent job in 3 weeks. But he was also quite experienced, right? Imagine like what your life would be like if you know how to get high paying job consistently. Like, can you imagine just getting like a 20 to 90% salary, or just getting like a tech job within like 2 to 8 weeks? Would that make things better for you? We found out that the fastest way to land high paying jobs is actually LinkedIn. But we don't just use it, we use it as a social media and other job board. A lot of people just use it as a job board without interacting in the platform, without doing anything. And you know what's the best part? You don't need to spend 4 to 6 hours a day to make this work. You don't need to be great at sales and marketing to do this. The LinkedIn algorithm does everything for you. You actually already did the hardest part. You learned to code, you learned to contribute to the industry in a meaningful way. And you don't need to worry about like a bad market ever again. This works in like even like bad markets, like the one we have here today. People are still getting like jobs through our method. We know that there is like a lot of conflicting information out there. There is a lot of gurus who never like did it. While the methods can work, if they're not executed in the right way, they're never going to get you the results that you desire. So that's why we actually decided to launch the Dev Accelerator, which is the paid program. And I'm quickly going to go through what is it inside, but it's not to sell you in. It's to just give you the value of what it is, just make you listen to me more, right? What we do inside it, we have one-on-one sessions, both with me and my like technical prep with Ivan. We have like a personalized roadmap to 100 to 200K. We have the interview generation system, or aka the job hunt system, which is designed to get you to 2 to 5 interviews a week. We have the LinkedIn magnetic method, which is designed to get you interviews on autopilot, which we're going to dive deeper later. Beating imposter syndrome, sessions on how to present and like sell yourself, mastering the negotiations playbook, the hidden job market. We also have a guarantee that we'll work with you until you get a higher paying job. And the total value is 13,000. Obviously, I'm not going to charge you that much. If you come inside the Dev Accelerator, it's way less. We create custom programs aligned to where you want to go. Maybe even the duration of the sessions is going to be 1 month. Maybe it's going to be 6 months. We just have to see what your exact situation is. Let me ask you, if finally get you the job you deserve, would this 13K be worth it? Or if it help you increase your confidence during interviews, would it be worth it? Or if it gets you the upskilling you need to get to the next level, would it be worth it? Because if you went from 3K to 6K, that's a lot of value of itself, not to mention the technical upskilling and so on. So now that you guys know how valuable this knowledge can be, here is how I just helped a mid-level engineer go from 2,800 to 6,000 a month in just 2 months without applying. In the beginning, he was in a job that didn't pay him well and didn't value his skills. He wasn't getting interviews despite sending a ton of applications a week. He started doubting whether his skills were actually worth more. He didn't know how to sell himself properly or stand out amongst the crowd. He was stuck doing what everyone else is doing, like spray and praying applications, but he was more ambitious than his environment. I feel like a lot of you guys will see yourself in him because I know I did as well. And again, if you want a copy of this doc, a plus recording, I'll share it in the free community. There's going to be a link somewhere in the description, comments, etc. So here's what we did. We optimized his LinkedIn profile, positioning him as the authority and like obvious choice in his niche. So we basically looked at like how they want him to look like and basically framed it in their own words. His LinkedIn profile reflected what actually they search for, not what you think they search for. We basically shifted our strategy from using it just only as a job board, but treating LinkedIn as a social media, because that's what it is. It's full of people that are stakeholders and you have like really easy access to them. And I don't know if you guys know, but LinkedIn Premium actually allows you to just message people directly. They charge money for that. So they know how valuable this is. So just, I'm not saying purchase LinkedIn Premium, but if they know how valuable this is, you should also like think about it in this way. He also learned how to sell himself effectively and negotiate properly, because the negotiations itself can basically yield you like 10-15% results, etc. He leveraged also recruitment agencies to get in front of more opportunities. So that's an easy way for you to actually not do the job search. Make a list of like 10 to 20, 30 recruitment agencies in your area. Just phone them up. Sure, they might not have the most quality opportunities, but they can get you a job really fast. Then we just double down on the consistent daily actions that actually move the needle over the next 2 months. This is the most underrated part, because you guys probably have all of the information that you need. You're just not executing on it. As I said, like there is a lot of like conflicting information as well. Just execute. Here's the result. So he started getting traction within 2 to 3 weeks of us implementing everything that I just said. He had so many interviews that he couldn't keep up. He received multiple offers over like 5 to 6K a month from recruiters reaching out to him. So he was, at that point, he was not really, he doubled his salary in 2 months. You know, imagine earning, like your earning potential just doubles in 2 months. That's insane. He even like when we met, he said that he wants to double it. And I'm like, I don't know if we can do this for you. I'm honest. But he was like, no, I want that. I want the 6K. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, man. Like, yeah, let's try to get it for you. And he did. Like he actually rejected multiple like 4K offers before like hitting the 6K. And now he actually works somewhere that values and pays him fairly. Not only that, he can find another opportunity just like that on demand, changing how he looks at the job search. Here are the key takeaways from everything. LinkedIn is a social media platform, not a job board. So use it as that. Market knowledge and positioning matters just as much as like technical skills. There's been a lot of times that I myself, I haven't been the best technically, but because I was easy to work with, I knew exactly what they want. I positioned myself to solve their problems just as they wanted me. And that's how I actually got my most high paying offer. They tell me the exact same thing. I'm not saying like technical skills are not valuable. They obviously are, and you're obviously not going to get an offer if you're not skilled technically. But they told me, we actually expect more from like the technical side of you, but because we believe that I'm basically the solution to their problem, they basically give me an offer. Companies expect you to negotiate. So be prepared to negotiate, be prepared for them to undercut you. So negotiation skills is by far the easiest to grasp because only a few words can change the outcome of how much you earn over the next year, even more. Most companies, they don't just raise salaries like that. And getting a good rate right away is really essential. And it could be as easy as not giving them an anchor, right? So don't show your cards right away. The next is consistency and abundance mindset are what separates those who get results from those who stay stuck. I know this can be like really hard, just as the negotiations part, right? Especially us as developers, we feel that it's harder for us to negotiate. It's really hard to have the abundance mindset when you're desperate to get a job. Guess what? Those hiring managers see that you're desperate, and psychologically they're less inclined to basically give you the offer. Without consistency, I believe nothing will ever work because you're just not going to execute on it. Yeah, again, if you feel like Dev Accelerator is something for you, we have limited spots for that. We filter out like 50 to 60%. So if you guys want to apply for that, I'll send you a link. And now I'll just move to the Q&A side of it. What questions do you have for me, guys? So the question is, do you have more success stories from women? I only have one so far. And a lot of people are not inclined to be basically placed somewhere for all people to see. For now, I just have one success story. But I also got her results pretty quick. Yeah, what kind of stuff works well for daily activity on LinkedIn? Anything that you can do, pretty much. That includes chatting with people, doing content even, connecting with people, like comments. Is I feel like the best daily activities that you can do on LinkedIn. But again, chatting with people is a big thing. So you kind of have to master the DM side of it. How do I manage burnout? Feel like, at least on my cases, burnout is mostly emotional rather than you're physically burnt out. That first job that I mentioned, I really felt that. And before I even got that, I really felt that. Try to go out more, try to get out of your head, try to think less about the stuff that stresses you out. I would generally rethink my strategy, and if I feel stuck at something, that's it's completely normal if you're not changing what you're doing. Therapists, I'm not a therapist, but a therapist can help you greatly with that. Although I feel like a therapist for programmers, sometimes people venting to me can help them. But essentially what I do now, especially that now I have like a business and I have a lot of like responsibilities, I don't have more than 3 tasks a day that I wanna go over, and of course, I make these tasks manageable, or if they're like big enough, I just dedicate a time to them and I work on them until I can, of like my schedule allows me. So in that way, I don't feel like that much of an overwhelm. But if you're stuck in a position where, how they say, they treat you like shit, you gotta like find a way to get out of there as fast as possible, I feel like, and search for something that's better. Because I honestly, in that first job, I felt like quitting like development altogether, and I'm glad I didn't. And also my mentor was there to help me out. At the moment, I'm focusing on Astro. Is that a good thing to continue, and should I start posting about it? I look at what they are hiring for. So if they're not hiring for Astro, which I doubt they would be, I would just focus on what's out there and what's already working, and it's never going away, maybe, at least for the time being. So at first it was Angular, and now it shifted towards like React. So also inside the Dev Accelerator, we basically teach React for like the web dev stuff. Hi Alex, I never thought that not having enough technical skills will still get you your foot in the door with jobs. Yeah, because actually getting to the interviews is more about marketing and sales rather than something else. Think about it from like this way. If you're just starting out, you have no way to get to in these jobs besides getting to those people, explaining them why you want to work there, trying to get a referral, or just trying to find a way to stand out and try to make it as easy as possible for them. And just so you know, guys, I'm planning to do this regularly, every week, kind of reviewing each of my maybe success stories, or like stuff that we know works, and you can guys replicate it completely, for free. When you're saying constraints, do you mean getting interviews? Or if you're not getting interviews in, your constraint is getting interviews. If you're not passing the behavioral stages, then behavioral stages are the constraint. And if you're not passing technical interviews, then the constraint is technical interviews. But sometimes you might not know that your constraint is behavioral because you get to technical interviews and you still get rejected. I will just hammer away the constraint that I have right now. Don't walk into interviews without being prepared, without knowing what is required. For you, I know you are in a different niche. So what I would suggest for you is just Google the most common questions for your role. And there's probably going to be a ton of YouTube interviews, and just try to learn them because that's what employers are actually looking for. So you were saying that the accelerator program is based on how much time is spent until there are offers on the table. Sometimes we do that because some people, they don't just want to spend the time after they get a job. I advise people, if they sign up for 3 months, so we can just do the 3 months because I feel like some people can do it in 1 month, some people can do it in 2. For beginners, it could be 6 months, because we want to only sell our time essentially. I provide also a lot of free resources, just as this webinar, because that's how I want to run things. I want to give away as much as possible because at this point, getting more clients in is not going to solve any more of my problems, but getting the right people in is going to improve our product more. And what I see, I don't want to compare myself, but I see a lot of competitors, they just want to get people in, and I already have a few people that are coming from competitors. That's why we also do the one-on-one. A lot of competitors do the groups, which I believe are inefficient, especially if you want to get a result fast.